I'm back. Had to take a break. Had to go away for about a week and a half just to clear my head. Had so much going on up there. It's been one hell of a year. Hospital appointments for my partner. I was going through cancer at the moment. My mom's hospital appointments. Work. My job is literally 24/7. I'm always, as a manager, you're always on standby. You're always doing something. And then I had studio bookings, the DJing, the recording, mixing, mastering stuff, the video editing, the photography, you name it. And as well as this YouTube channel and trying to set up another YouTube channel and trying to work things out. Your head just has a million and one thoughts going. So I had to slow it down. I took a break, took time to myself, sorted stuff out, and now I'm back. And might as well get into this video because last thing you want to hear is me just rabbit on about stuff that doesn't really concern you or isn't really your issue. But I'm here now, so let's get into the video. Okay, so this is the Man United versus Bournemouth preview. And I think the last 6 times we've met, United have won 2, drawn 2, and lost 2 at Old Trafford. We've lost 3-0 2 years in a row. We beat them in the 22-23 season, but they've beat us the last 2 seasons, literally hammered us. We've been really poor, and hopefully we can do better this time around. We already have a poor home record. I mean, we drew against Tottenham, we drew against West Ham, we lost against Everton, and that's the last 3 games at Old Trafford. Absolutely poor and horrible record. And a win takes us into a European spot, hopefully, judging by the way today's games are going. We could end up as high as 5th. United will play the usual 3-4-2-1 with players going to AFCON. I've got 2 lineups for this one. So I'm going to show you both lineups, one with the AFCON players, one without the AFCON players. I know they have to go on the 15th, but United are trying to get the teams or to discuss and maybe have them for this game, because if you look at it, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, wherever the games were played, everybody had the AFCON players. We're the only team that are losing out on these AFCON players that have to go to AFCON because we can't use them because our game's on a Monday. How's that fair? But I think with United's tactics will probably be pretty much the same. Counter, work the ball into the final third, out to the wings for whoever's starting to cross the ball into the box and try and get the end of it. Bournemouth will try and get through our midfield, which a lot of teams do. Their midfield pivot isn't really the best. Something that we can probably fix in January, but apparently we're not making any transfers in January. So that puts us in a awkward predicament. But let's move on to Bournemouth. So Bournemouth like playing with a compact midfield, they like to win the ball in midfield and try and get us on the quick attacks. They try to use the pace of the wingers, so try and get the ball out to the wingers. Semenyo, whoever's playing on the day, it's probably going to be Semenyo. And he's trying to work the ball into the box to try and get it out on the wing and try and provide that danger because he is the danger man. That's why a lot of teams are after him. And they're trying to meet the 65 million buyout clause in January for the first 2 weeks of January. But they also got Tyler Adams back in the team. And he's looking to win them midfield duels, which we tend to lose a lot of. Now, I'm going to move on to my team lineups, or I'll predict what the team lineup is going to be. Then I'm going to tell you the score with that, the AFCON players. So let's get into the team lineup with the AFCON players. Because chances are they might be going to AFCON unless we hear something different. So I've gone with Lemans in goal. I've gone with the same back 3 as last time. De Ligt's injured, Maguire's injured. No idea why Maguire's injured. I'm still waiting to hear why he's been out for so long. But Euro, gone with Heaven in the middle, and Shaw. Heaven played better the last game, but then again, it was against Wolves. So, I can't really say too much. It's probably going to be different when they're facing Bournemouth. Although, however, Wolves did perform or outperform Arsenal yesterday, and they nearly would have got a draw. If they hadn't been for them 2 lucky goals that Arsenal scored, which were own goals, maybe it would have been a different scenario and a different story. So that's what I've got in my non-AFCON team, Euro, Heaven, and Shaw. Now, in the midfield, AMAD's going to AFCON, so I've gone with Dallo on the right, Casemiro, Fernandez still in that middle pivot, and I've gone with Dorgu on the left. It's not really our strongest team, so, it's going to be possibly a few issues with getting the ball in the box a bit more this time around, especially with Dalot and Dorgu on the wings. But, you know, Dalot's been performing well in the last 2 games. I'm hoping he carries on performing well in this one. I've got Cunha and Mount as the number 10s. I'll move Cunha to the right. I've got Mount on the left, and I've got Xerxes up front, and I think Xerxes is going to start. But even without any Afghan players, I don't think MAZRAOui will start, which might be a lot issue for a lot of you. It's an issue for me. I would have loved for him to start and move Bruno up to that 10 and maybe maybe Cunha up front as a false 9. But I think Amorim doesn't seem to like MAZRAOui. He doesn't seem to like many, shall I say, academy players. That's why he's got the highest rate of not playing them in the league or putting them in the team. I think it's 18, something like that. Considering Ten Hag only had 2, which is the second lowest. But yeah, but that's what I think my team's going to be. And do I feel confident we're going to win with this team? No. So that's why I've gone for my prediction on this one, which I'll tell you at the end. But I'm going to show you the team that I would use if the players are able to stay and not able to basically go to, shall I say, Afghan. So I've gone with Lamans in goal. Back 3 is the same of Yoro, Heaven, and Shaw. So same back 3 as we started in the last 2 games. But this time around, it's going to be a lot different if AMAD is available, because AMAD's going to be on the right. I've got Casemiro and Fernandes back in that midfield pivot, and Dalot on the left, where he has performed well the last 2 games, as I have mentioned already. I'll put MBEUMO and Mount in that number 10, because I don't see why we should move them off. And Cunha up front. And I do feel like the front 3 here, MBEUMO, Cunha, and Mount will rotate between the 3. Bruno Fernandes might come into the 10 position sometimes, and Mount will probably go back into midfield, which we did against Wolves. So I reckon we're going to play a lot better with this team. And now I'm going to move on to my score predictions for this. So I've gone without the Afghan players, I'm going for a 1-1 draw, because I don't feel as confident that we're going to win. And I don't feel as confident that we're going to create as much with whoever we've got in the team. But without the Afghan players, I'm gone for a 3-1 win, because I feel confident that we are going to win, and hopefully this will move us up to 5th position in the table and into that Europa spot, possible Champions League spot, depending on how things work out. But that brings me to the end of my video, and thanks for watching. And please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and I'm back, baby. Let's go.